What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Bandai Power Rangers Legacy Collection Power Rangers Zeo Blue Ranger. Here we do have the Blue Ranger in the packaging. What we're going to do now is take a little break, get them opened up, and then we'll have a better look at the Blue Zeo Ranger. So sit tight, everyone. And so here we have the Blue Zeo Ranger posing out of the packaging. Now before we have a look at the figure, let's take a look at what he comes with. He does come with the left arm of the Zeo Megazord, which we'll have a look at when we have all the figures and put them together. Looking at the Blue Zeo Ranger, he does come with 4 accessories. He does come with 2 holsters, as well as the Zeo laser pistol and the pod sword, which they all look nice and they do peg onto his sides right here. If you want him holding the sword or the gun, he can hold them, although it's not ideal, seeing as how we only get the retracted form of the pod sword, and then the guns are a little hard to get out of the holster once you actually slide them all the way in, so be advised that you may have to heat that up before pulling them in and out. And then, of course, you can remove them if you want to take them off, which, if you don't want them holding them, I would suggest it because they are really bulky. So with that out of the way, let's have a closer look at the Blue Zeo Ranger. And so here we have a closer look at the Blue Zeo Ranger, and I don't know, this was always one of my favorite Zeo Rangers. I'm not really a fan of blue. Red's my favorite color, but I did like the Blue Zeo Ranger. I don't know if it was the giant triangle on his head, but it just looks really nice. I really do like the helmets of the Zeo Rangers. It does have this really nice feel to it. Having a look at Blue Ranger here, you can see there is some detailing in the helmet. I really do like how different these helmets are from other Power Ranger helmets, but they're also kind of the same. It's really hard to explain. I do like the white plastic neck is still a separate piece, and you can see the difference between what's molded in white and then what's actually painted. Just like with the other Zeo Rangers, he does have this really ugly gold paint. It's not the best gold in the world. There's richer shades of gold, which I really wish that they would have painted, like the prototype pictures showed. The prototype figures had a much richer gold than this, which I am a little disappointed that these didn't get the love and care that they really deserve. Still loving the detailing on it. All these geometrical patterns look really nice, and they do carry over onto the back here. So I do like that. Just like with the female Rangers, we have a lot of nice detailing here in the wrist cuffs, which go all the way around. And then we do get a nice little gold trim right here where the wrist meets the forearm. You can see the belt has all their symbols in it, from the circle all the way to the star. Really do like that belt. And then for the most part, it is kind of a plain costume. There's really not much to say from the legs down. Although we do get this really nice gold cuff boot, which does look nice, and I am glad that they did actually sculpt it, because there are times where they would just, I don't know, cheap out, and this is one time when I'm really glad that the only thing they cheaped out on was the plastic. That should be a much richer gold. And then we also do have that same design on the boots. We have that line running down, coming to about a T right here on the foot, which does look nice. I do like it. So overall, really loving the way this figure came out, and I do like the Zeo Rangers so far. So what we're going to do now is actually take a moment and compare the Blue Ranger to other figures you may have in your collection. And so here we have the Blue Zeo Ranger posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we do have the Blue Zeo Ranger posed next to a Marvel Legends Black Widow and a DC Multiverse Jessica Cruz. And finally, here we do have the Blue Zeo Ranger posed next to the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 90s Blue Ranger and the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie Blue Ranger. And with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually take a look at the Blue Zeo Ranger's articulation. He does have the standard male Legacy Collection articulation. If you're not sure what that is, let's actually run through it really fast. He does have a hinge in the neck, which lets him look up and down, and then we also do get a swivel here. It is on a ball joint, however, we get no movement on that ball joint, which is a little bit unfortunate. we only get a swivel, and then the hinge comes from the neck. Arms on a ball joint go out to about that far. He does a full 360, no issues. We have a bicep swivel, double bend in the elbow, although it doesn't get as good as the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers elbow, so there is that. I wish it did get a little better range. Surprisingly, no swivel here at the glove, so yeah, that is completely different. We don't get a swivel here, but we do have a hinge in the wrist, which does have an in and out hinge, and then we can rotate that to have an up and down hinge, and then of course we get rotation at the hand. We get an ab crunch, which goes back not too far, goes forward to about there. He does swivel at the waist. We do have legs that go forward and back. They kick out all the way, so we can get the split with the Zeo Rangers. He does swivel at the thigh, double bend in the knee. No boot swivel, which is surprising, seeing as how the female Rangers did get that boot swivel. I don't know why they omitted it from the male Rangers. Legs, his feet do hinge back and forward, and then forward facing pin for rocker ankle. So overall, really good articulation on this Power Ranger. So what we're going to do now is take a little break, get him posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. So here we do have the blue Zeo Ranger pose for my final thoughts. Overall, as a whole, I love the Zeo Rangers, and I'm really glad that Bandai was able to make them for us. However, I do feel that the lack of a proper gold does take away from the figures. If you are willing to overlook the gold, these are still aesthetically pleasing figures, and they look as a whole together really nice. If you are trying to track down the Zeo Rangers, the Blue Ranger here is available at mass retail and other online retailers. I was able to pick up mine from Big Bad Toy Store, as well as a case of the Zeo Rangers. So if you are looking for these guys, they are starting to become more readily available at Target, Walmart, and of course GameStop. If you are looking to complete the Zeo Rangers, you're going to want to have the Blue Ranger in your collection, and he is going to run you about $19.99. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other Power Ranger Legacy figures. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.